here is an example of where we use systems. So we'll be able to write a system for both of these situations. First one says one internet provider charges a $50 setup fee and $30 per month. Another has no setup fee and charges $40 per month. In how many months will the providers charge the same, and what will that charge be? So we got two unknowns here. One of those unknowns is months. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign some variables. And so it asks how many months. So how many months? Well, that's going to be M. And then what's the other part? Well, it's the charge, the cost. I'm going to call C the cost or the charge, and then M is the number of months. So we're going to use those variables to write an equation. So let's take a look at the first one. One internet provider charges $50 setup fee. That's like a one-time charge. You're not going to charge that again. It's just a setup fee. You don't have to get set up every month, so it's a one-time charge. But this is an ongoing charge. So this is a variable amount. They're asking for the number of months here. And here we have $30 per month. So this is ongoing. So we get charged every month. And so let's go ahead and write one that matches that. We've got C, the cost, equals $50 setup fee, $30 per month. So we have $30 every month, because that's the number of months. We don't know how many months, so that's why I put M, plus the one-time setup fee. C equals 30M plus 50. Well, this other one has no setup fee, no initial cost, but they are charging an ongoing amount, $40 per month. So their cost is $40 every month. And there's no initial fee, so nothing needed to put there. Well, now we've got our system. See, this is a system of equations. Two unknowns we can solve. So we're going to use substitution. We're going to take that 40M, we're going to put it in place of the other equation's C value, since that's what it equals. So we'll go ahead and rewrite what we've got. We've got, in place of C, we've got 40M equals 30M plus 50. So we can go ahead and solve by just doing a couple opposite operations here. So first one is to subtract 30M from both sides. When I do that, still have this 10M, but now it equals 50. So we've got another opposite operation here. I'm going to divide by 10. And so when I do that, we've got M by itself. So M equals 5. So 5 months, that's the number of months when they'll end up charging the same. But then they wanted to know one other part. What will that cost be? Well, we do the same thing we had done before. We put 5 in place of M. Now, which one's the easier one? Hopefully you said the second equation. That's the easier one. Just one step there. C equals 40M. Well, M is 5. So that's why I'm going to take that 40 and multiply by 5. 4 times 5 is 20. Add a 0, you've got your charge. $200 is what the charge will be after those 5 months. So there it is. Well, one more to practice just like that. Very similar problem. It's asking this time about cable providers rather than internet providers. But it's the same sort of thing. So here we have a company provides services, and they have a $60 setup fee and charge $80 monthly. Another $160 equipment fee, $70 per month. How many months? That's the question. So we don't know the number of months, so let's assign a variable. M stands for the number of months. Well, we also don't know cost. Charge, that's going to be C. C is going to represent the charge or the cost. And so let's go ahead and try to set up an equation. So here, this company charges, so charges is their cost, a $50, $60 setup fee. Well, setup fee means one time. This is a one-time charge. We're not going to pay it again. So we're going to do $60 and then an ongoing charge of $80 per month. So 80M, we just don't know how many months we're using it for, plus a 60. So that's our first equation. C equals 80M plus 60. Now this other one, they have an equipment fee. That's the same thing as a one-time charge. So they could have said an equipment fee, they charge you for the equipment, but they're not going to charge you for the equipment again. They just have that one-time fee, and then they have this ongoing fee of $70. So that's going to be cost equals $70 per month plus that one-time huge equipment fee of $160. So when will they end up charging the same? So we'll find out. So now we've set up our system, and we could go ahead and solve. So you see, we're going to take this expression right here, 70M plus 160, and since it equals C, we're going to substitute it in for C. So let's see what we've got now. We'll rewrite our equation. So in place of C, I'm writing 70M plus 160. And this all equals 80M plus 60. And so we can go ahead and solve. Opposite operations again. We're going to subtract that 70M from both sides. And once we do that, we'll also subtract this 60 from both sides. So now what do we have? Well, we've got a 100 equals 10M. So we just do that division, and we've got our M by itself. Divide by 10 on both sides. So M equals 10. So 10 is the number of months. So 10 months. And then they'll have charged the same amount. So that's half the problem, but we still have one more half to go. We need to find out the cost. What do? Well, we just take that 10 and we put it in for M. Doesn't matter which M you put it into, whichever one's easiest. So C equals 80. I'm going to use the top one, but in place of M, I'm putting 10. And then plus 60. So we go ahead and do this work. 80 times by 10 gives me 800 plus 60 gives me $860. So $860 is the amount they'll charge when they have charged the same. Prior to that, the cheaper one was the first company because they charged less to start off with. But the second company will be cheaper after 10 months because they charge less per month. Well, that's an example of those two problems. Good luck on tonight's homework.